Okay, so welcome back to another video, and of course it's a new bike day, and yeah, first purchase of 2021 might I add. This bike and this build ticks off a few things for me. The high pivot, the 38 Fox on the front I've not tried, and also 29er. I've not tried a 29er ever, other than the mullet setup, which was the YT decoy. So this also has the ability to be converted to a mullet setup with the addition of a Ziggy link. So yeah, we can really get a feel for the different options that this bike kind of brings to the table. So yeah, quick rundown on the spec of this bike. We've got E13 alley wheels, aluminum wheels. We've got performance versions of the Fox 38 and the X2 Airshock. E13 stem, did have E13 bars, but they were a 10mm rise, and made a bit of a rush decision purchase and bought the high rise 38s from Bergtech. So ride high 38s, I think they are. Yeah, XT brakes front and rear, my first time ever trying Shimano brakes. So 200mm rotor on the front, 180 on the back. What else can we say? XT drivetrain, so the 12-speed XT. I've been impressed with the Shimano SLX previously on the YT decoy bike that I tested. I was quite impressed with the way it shifted, just precise, smooth shift. It's got the DT Swiss 350 hubs. So I think that's one up from the 370 hubs, which are on the Santa Cruz Nomad. E13 upper and lower chain guides and lower bash guide, or bash guard shall we say. It has an STG saddle, and the dropper post I have already swapped out for a Crank Brothers one, because whilst I tested it at Ace Bicycles in Monmouth, the dropper post was too tall. So basically I was kind of on tiptoes with it slammed all the way down inside the frame. So this one kind of fits me perfectly. I can drop it out of the way, but it still goes up high enough for full extension of my legs. So yeah, what else can I say? Maxxis tyres, an Assegai on the front and a DHR2 on the back. I'm used to the Assegai tyres on a Nomad, front and rear, so happy to see that there's one of those on the front. And I've heard good things about the DHR2 as well, so we'll see how that combo works out. So that's a quick overview of the bike. We're going to hit the trails now, and hopefully I can commentate through how the bike feels and relay it back to you. So, first observations: the seat is uncomfortable, the derailleur needs adjustment, I think. Hopefully you can see down there. And I've just observed the fact that the tyre brings up loads of grit and dirt. Seems to be slinging it straight at that upper guide pulley, guide wheel, or guide ring, whatever you want to call it. And that in turn makes the chain dirty. Can hear it crunching as it's going round. So yeah, that is one drawback. Maybe that rear fender mudguard thing could do with being kind of fatter and wider. Perhaps someone will bring out an aftermarket one of those. That might help. Maybe. I don't know. Other things I have observed are, I need to raise the seat post. It's kind of a little bit too low, which means at max extension it's not optimized for my height or leg length. And the other thing, does feel rather firm on the suspension, but other than that, it definitely seems to roll over the bumps better, as you'd expect from a 29er. So at this point I pulled over and for some reason decided to check the rear wheel to make sure it was tight, and it wasn't, it was loose. And then instantly I remembered I'd put the axle through, nipped up the wheel with the intention of torquing it later, and then obviously forgot. So there's a life lesson. If you're going to put a bolt in and torque it, put it in and torque it straight away, or at least make a note to remind yourself that it needs torquing. Could have been bad, could have destroyed the rear wheel and derailleur and disc and everything, but luckily it didn't. Caught it in time, but it did mean that I had to walk back to the van as I didn't want to ride the bike, and I didn't have a multi-tool on me, which was a bit of a mistake. If you're going out on a first ride on a new bike, or in fact if you're going out on any ride, you should always carry a multi-tool. Usually I do, but because this was a really short ride at my local, I thought I could get away with it. So anyway, a good first test of the bike. First ride impressions are good. The 29 wheels definitely roll over the bumps a lot better, as you'd expect. It's very difficult to really compare the 38 to the 36 at the moment, and also the high pivot design. It's a bit of a strange one. I can't really say that it's like night and day difference because the bike is just so drastically different. Obviously the stiffer fork, the high pivot, the 29-inch wheels, the brakes are different to what I'm used to, the gears are different. There's so many variables. I'm going to have to test the bike a lot more before I can get an understanding of the advantages of this bike, or the cons, the disadvantages. But I'm looking forward to testing it some more. So in the next video you see, I'm going to go out and test the bike, hopefully on some different trails, and we'll see where we go from there. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.